Hi everyone, Nina here from nb&ns, and today I'm talking all about Instagram hacks. Now we have 10 Instagram hacks and features that you may or may not know about that will make managing your Instagram account much easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump in, but as you have questions, feel free to pop in. Ask me any questions. Let me know if you've heard of the features that I'm talking about as we go through this. I love for these to be interactive and I love to see your questions and comments. So I'm just making sure that I'm live. All right, there we go. And so I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and get started. Now, the first Instagram hacker feature that I'm talking about today is you can actually rearrange your filters. So I don't know if you're like me, but you get into Instagram and you have to scroll to find your favorite filters. Now you can actually rearrange them so you can put the filters that you like the best at the very front so you don't have to spend that time scrolling. In fact, I know a lot of brands, in fact, I think Justin Timberlake only uses one of the black and white filters. I stick to, I think it's the gingham filter because I kind of like that consistent brand look that, you know, everything that I post has a similar look because that kind of goes in with our personal branding. And so if you are like that and you have a favorite filter, you can go ahead and rearrange those. Now, the way that you do that is next time you go on Instagram, you act like you're gonna post a photo or go ahead and start posting a photo, and you will scroll to the very end. So you'll like scroll all the way to the right, and there is a button that says Manage. And so you're gonna press and you're gonna click on that. And then you're gonna press and hold. There's 3 lines on the left-hand side of the screen, and then there's little circles with check marks on the right-hand side of the screen. Now you can press and hold the lines on the left-hand side to go ahead and move around the filters, or you can check and uncheck the checks on the right-hand side to hide certain filters that you don't want to use. Now, just so you know, you don't have to furiously write down everything that I'm saying today. There is a link in the description of this Facebook Live that has all of the instructions on how to use all of these hacks. So you can go ahead and listen, ask questions, and then check out that blog post at the end so you can have the step-by-step instructions how to use all of these hacks. All right, so the next hack that I'm gonna talk about, and this one is probably my favorite hack, and that is to use a dynamic bio link. And now what that means is on Instagram, you only have one link in your profile, and you cannot include links that work. You can write them out, but they're not gonna work in your descriptions or captions of your posts on Instagram. And so instead of having to go into your bio and changing that profile link every time you want to link to something different, you can sign up for a service that I like to use, and it's free, which is the best part, called Linktree. And what you do is you connect your Instagram account to Linktree, and then Linktree will host all of your links. Now, this is something that's kind of hard to grasp without seeing what it looks like. So like I said, there is a link to our blog post, and I have a picture of what our Linktree account looks like, or you can follow us on Instagram. We're nb&ns on Instagram, and you can see how we use Linktree. So I just have to go into my Linktree account. You can have, I don't even know if there's a limit because I have a lot of links in there. And so anytime I share something on Instagram and I'll say link in profile, it's the same link in the profile, and then you click on that and it opens up this screen that almost looks like a mobile website, and it has all of these different links that I've mentioned on Instagram. So it makes it much easier to manage things when you are driving traffic off of Instagram onto any of your own assets. So it makes it a lot easier to manage. So make sure that you check out Linktree. And like I said, the link in the description of this live, I have what that looks like. Okay, so the next hack that I'm gonna talk about is how to see others' activity on Instagram. Now, just to note, you can actually only see the activity of people who have chosen to follow you. So you can't just see anyone's activity, But I like to use this to get an understanding of what my following and the people that I follow like to interact with, because I want to see what kind of other accounts do they follow? What kind of content are they liking and commenting on? Because is it resonating with them? And it kind of gives me a better idea of what my ideal clients like on Instagram. So I know a little bit better of what kind of content that I should be using on Instagram, or maybe other accounts that I should be following on Instagram. So the way that you do that is you'll go to your profile, and then you'll click on the little gear icon or the 3 dots. It depends if you use an iPhone or an Android device. And then you go to options, and then you'll tap on posts. Oops, sorry, I was reading the wrong instructions. And then you'll post on the other, there's like posts that you've liked, and then there's posts that others have liked. And so you can look at the posts that you've liked, because I know that I'll go through and like stuff and I'm like, oh, I saw that really awesome photo of the beach or of Ireland or whatever, and I can't remember who posted it. I can go and look at who I've liked, and then you can go in and look at what your followers or people that you follow have liked. So I really like to use that for 2 different ways. It helps me find stuff that I've liked in the past, because maybe I've forgotten, and then it also helps me look at what my follow or people who I follow are interested in and give me better ideas of content that I can use. Okay, so the next one is another, I keep saying they're all my favorites, but I really like this one as well, and that's to manage multiple Instagram accounts. So if you're here, tell me in the comments, or even if you're watching this on the replay, tell me how many Instagram accounts you manage. Do you manage a personal one and a business one, or do you have a whole portfolio of accounts that you manage? Because I think I currently have about 4 accounts that I manage. And before I knew this hack, I was having to log out and log in every time that I wanted to switch users. Well, you can actually add all of the accounts that you manage while you are logged in. And then when you hold down the little photo of your profile photo in the bottom right-hand corner, you hold that down and a menu will come up, and it will let you select one of the many accounts that you manage. You can click on that and it'll switch you right over to that account. So it's much more time efficient to switch versus having to log out and log in every time. So I really love that hack. That was a new one that I had learned recently. Now, something else, this may seem really simple to some of you, but not others, is you can actually delete comments. So you can delete comments if somebody posts on your page and you don't like the comment, or they're being rude, and all you have to do is you swipe left and you'll see 3 little icons come up, and the last little icon there is a garbage can, and so you can go ahead and toss that nasty comment into the garbage can. So I really like that hack. It may be like a duh for some of you, but I think some people didn't realize that you can actually manage comments from other people like that on your posts. Lisa is asking if she should have a business account, that she has a personal one. If you are running your business from your account, I do suggest you have a business account. But Lisa, like we talk about in our Facebook course, the Facebook Formula for DS Success, you really want to have your personal brand, right? And so I like to have a business Instagram account because you get access to analytics. And I really love to have all of the information that I can so that I can be a better marketer. So I do like having a business account. If you currently have a personal account and you want to switch it to a business account, you can do that. And Lisa, I will send you those instructions if that's something you want to do. It's really easy. And you can actually switch it back if you change your mind. So I like to have the business account if I'm running a business on it, because I want those analytics. Now, I personally do have a personal account because I post pictures of my daughter and stuff, and I don't necessarily want those public. So I have 2 accounts that I manage that way. Okay, so the next hack that I wanted to talk about, and we're on number 7 already, is to filter comments. And you can actually do this on Facebook as well. We actually talked about Facebook hacks, I think it was 2 weeks ago. So if you missed that Facebook Live, scroll through our wall. I always leave these up, so you can check that out, check out some of those Facebook hacks. But you can do this on Facebook as well, and that is you can filter comments, and you can either rely on Instagram has kind of a default filter that you can go in and just turn it on, and they will filter out some of the things that they have identified as inappropriate or spammy and those type of comments. They kind of have an algorithm that they use to filter those out, so you can just turn that filter on. Or if you have a specific situation and that maybe you're being trolled, or maybe competitors are coming and posting on your account and being rude, is you can actually set up certain words that you don't want to be allowed in comments on your caption. So there's two ways to do it. You can use Instagram's default program that's run by their algorithm, or you can define specific words and phrases that you do not want people to be able to use on your posts on Instagram. And like I said, you can do that on Facebook as well. So scroll back through our wall and check out the Facebook Live that we did all about Facebook hacks. Okay, so number 8 is creating an Instagram, what I like to call a swipe file. Now, a swipe file is an old advertising term. It was used by copywriters back in the Mad Men era. I don't know if any of you guys watched that show, but copywriters would collect copy and advertisements and essays and articles of writing that they liked or that they were inspired by. So when they would go to write their copy, they would look back at those examples to inspire them and to get ideas. So I like to do things called swipe files, and it's stuff that I collect that I like, that I'm inspired by, or something that strikes an idea for me. And you can do that on Instagram. And the way that you do that is if you're scrolling through Instagram and you see a post that you want to save, there's a little, it's called a bookmark icon, but I think it looks like a little flag. And you can click on that flag and it will dump it into a folder on your Instagram account called Saved. And then what I really like is you can go and create what are called collections. And so kind of think about Pinterest. You have different Pinterest boards. The Instagram collections are somewhat similar to a Pinterest board. So let's say you're getting married, or you really like recipes, or you're looking for Instagram ad ideas or post ideas, whatever it is, you can create these collections. So you could have like a recipe collection or a wedding collection or a holiday collection, whatever your collection is. So then you can go into your saved Instagram posts, so the ones that you have, identified you want to save from other followers by that little flag icon. You can go in there and click on your collection. And when you click on your collection, it's going to bring up all of your saved Instagram posts, and then you can designate which ones that you want to go into that collection. So it kind of keeps it a little bit more organized. Like I said, it's kind of like a pin board. And I really like that ability to not just have a bunch, like a big long list of saved posts that I like, but to kind of categorize them. I like being organized. So I really like that feature. And like I said, don't worry about like furiously writing everything down that I'm saying. I have all of the instructions for all of these hacks via the link in the description of this live. So you can click on that and head on over to the blog post, and it has pictures and descriptions and everything that you need in order to use these hacks. Okay, so our next one is how to get line breaks in your captions. And I don't know if you have ever written like a really long Instagram caption, or you've seen people use line breaks and you're like, how the heck can you do that? Because Instagram doesn't let you hit the return button a bunch of times. So there's a couple different ways that you can do this. I list 3 different ways in the blog post. Method 1 is just to go in your Notes app on your phone and to type out your caption the way you want it to appear with the line breaks and everything, and just copy and paste it into Instagram. So that's one way to get around their kind of line break rules, or I don't even know, features that they don't allow you to do. The second way is to use periods and hit the 1, 2, 3 button. And it doesn't make sense with me just talking about it, but like I said, we have photos and everything. So what you'll do is you'll write your first paragraph, and you'll put a period at the end of the sentence like you normally do. And then you're gonna hit return. And then you'll notice you can't hit the return button again. But you'll see on the left-hand side of your keypad on your phone, there's a 1, 2, 3 button. You can hit that 1, 2, 3 button, then hit a period, then hit a return, and then type your next paragraph, and then you can get that line break that way. But you do have to have something in between those line breaks, like a period or an emoji, which is my third way of getting around it, because Instagram will remove any extra line breaks. So you can really only do like line break, an item like a period or a letter or a emoji or something like that, and then another line break, and then your paragraph. So just keep that in mind. So I have those 3 ways written down in the blog post. And then our last Instagram hack, and you guys, honestly, I will probably do a second post about Facebook hacks and Instagram hacks because there are so many, but to keep it manageable today and to keep it where you guys can actually go and implement these, I only did 10, but keep an eye out. Probably I would say in December or January, I will probably do a second post on both of these because there's so many features I think that people don't realize that you can use. So our 10th one for today is to add line breaks into your bio. And it's going to be the same idea of what I just talked about with your line breaks in your captions. And I really like line breaks in bios. I've seen some people do some really cool ones, especially if they talk about maybe 3 different topics. So I've seen people do like the little airplane and say they talk about travel, and then maybe they're a mom, so they have the little emoji with like them and kids, and they're a mom, and then maybe they talk about food, and then they have like a little plate emoji with that they talk about food. So it kind of gives like a visual idea of what you talk about. It makes it look a little bit cleaner. You can't use a bunch of text in your bio, so I kind of like that it looks bulleted like that. I don't do it because our description's really short. I like to be very brief, but I've seen some really cool ones that people have used emojis by using those line breaks. So like I said, the instructions on how to do that are in the blog post, and you can check that out. So those were my 10 Instagram hacks. If you guys have any questions while you're here about Instagram, please let me know. If you are watching this on a replay, please know that I always come back and I always check the comments. So if you're watching this on the replay and you have a question, go ahead and put it in the comments. I will come back and I will answer your questions. So like I said, everything that I talked about today is linked in the description of this live, so you can go check that out. Also, make sure that you join our private group, Marketing for Mompreneurs, to connect with other solopreneurs that have businesses. We like to exchange ideas and work out problems that we have. So it's a really great group. So I really love it if you join us over there. It's a really fun group. So the last thing I want to mention is that if you click on over to the blog post, at the bottom of the blog post, I link to 3 other Instagram blog posts that we have. There's a getting started with Instagram blog post. So if you're just getting started with Instagram and you want to learn a little bit more about what it's all about and the things that you need to do in order to get your Instagram account set up correctly, you can check that out. And there is a piece of bonus content in there on how to get your first 500 followers on Instagram. So if you click on that link, like I said, it'll take you to this blog post about the hacks, but at the bottom, there are these 3 blog posts about using Instagram better and more efficiently and with strategy. So the second one is how to use Instagram stories. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. If you don't, pop on over, follow me, and let me know, because I would love to follow you back as well and see what you guys are all up to. We're nb_and_ns on Instagram. I'll go ahead and drop a link so you can find that a little bit easier to our account. And then the last one is how to use hashtags to grow your business on Instagram. So I know hashtags on Instagram are a big topic. It's one of the questions that I get quite often about how to use hashtags on Instagram and how to use them to grow your following. And so we have a really great post about how to find those different hashtags and how to use them to help grow your business. Oh, and what I was gonna say is if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I love Instagram stories. I probably do 2 or 3 a day. And it kind of has some behind the scenes stuff about how we run our business, or just random thoughts that I have, or just kind of a peek into my life. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see those Instagram stories. I really love Instagram stories. So if you haven't tried them, make sure to try to check out that blog post and learn a little bit more about them, because if you're on Instagram, I really think you should be using Instagram stories. I think they're awesome. So Okay, I am gonna go ahead and jump off. Thank you everyone who joined us here today. And like I said, if you were watching on the replay and you have any questions at all, or if you watched today and you go check something out on Instagram and then you have a question, come on back, let me know. I would be happy to help you out. Like I said, there is a link to the post of everything that I talked about today in the description of this live. There's also a link to our private group, Marketing for Mompreneurs. So if you've not joined that group yet, make sure you do that. So thank you guys again, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week and a fun weekend. I think it's a long weekend for some of us. I know my daughter is off of school tomorrow, so enjoy your weekend with your friends and family, or if you're working, I hope you have fun working. So, all right, have a good one, and thanks again for joining me.